Hi, this is David Hucks reporting from MyrtleBeachSC.com. Today we're talking about the SuperBlock Library. This week, Mayor John Rhodes announced that there would be a library in the SuperBlock. He promised the city residents that it would clean up the area and said it would be good for overall development. MyrtleBeachSC.com has been made aware of something called Home Rule 75. Home Rule 75 states that counties have jurisdictions over libraries. The current library in Myrtle Beach, Chapin Library, is a private foundation / city-run enterprise. It's the only way the city can continue to operate a library. Locals have asked us questions including, will the new library being built for $10 million, roughly the whole project is $10 million, will the new library be a joint venture? Or will the library be built by city taxpayer monies and then turned over to the county? We're unclear on that. We asked John Peterson, city manager. He hasn't responded to us. We also reached out to Wayne Gray, Councilman Louder, Mayor Rhodes. We reached out to those three folks and a guy named Randall Wallace, who's also a councilman. No one's responded to us as of yet. Each are up for re-election in November. What we see here, though, is this map that you're going to see. This map is really a couple of shots of the Emerald Shores, the ocean liner, the rainbow coral. All of these were bulldozed. The whole area was bulldozed. John Peterson said on a local radio station this week that they would get the demolition crews and the bulldozers out as soon as possible. We know that if you look at the map that we're showing you now, that the Chapin Foundation is the deed restricted property of resource for Chapin Library, the one that currently exists, for Chapin Park, and for the Presbyterian Church. We asked City Manager John Peterson what will happen to those properties, and he has not responded. The Maya Baba Foundation, or the Maya Baba Retreat, sits on the boards of the Chapin Foundation. They also sit on the board, some of them sit on the board of the Chapin Company. The Chapin Company is an old building where there's a miniature golf course just across from where the old pavilion site was. You'll see it right here. You can see it in red. And our concerns are, well, what's going to happen to these properties? Will they be torn down as well? The street between those two properties, which is right now considered to be Main Street, we know it is going to be taken out. And as you can see on this map, Highway 501 will run right down 7th Avenue all the way to the beach. The properties there, the Oasis Motel, the Fontainebleau Inn, the Midtown Motel, and the property that used to be the pavilion are all either vacant land or properties that some of which we know are currently under contract with a group called the Downtown Redevelopment Corporation. Will the city build a library, a SuperBlock library? County board election library elected officials tell us that basically if they do build it, the only way they can continue to get funding is through keeping it in a private foundation. It's yet to be determined if the taxpayers will foot that. Other options would be to give the SuperBlock library to the county. I doubt that elected officials will want to do that because the city residents will not be paying for a property that will be then turned over to the county. What we do know is that for some reason, city elected officials are wanting to get bulldozers all across Myrtle Beach as much as possible and raise as many buildings as possible. We do know that. That's something that John Peterson promised a local radio station. He said that basically they'd be bulldozing. But he also said that the library would be city owned. And I don't know how that works. We don't know how that works if they're going to continue to operate and fund it. What we do know is this, as John Rhodes addressed, we know the press conference that was made, which you can see here following my statements. And we also know there's more to this story that's been told. Listen to Mr. Rhodes' statements here. Please go to our website, myrtlebeachsc.com. The entire rest of the story can be found there.
Okay, it's 12:30. I'd like to go ahead and get started if everybody's ready. Everybody can hear okay? I want to thank everybody for coming today, and what an honor it is to be here at this beautiful Nance Plaza to make this announcement. And first I'd like to recognize the members of the Nance family that are here that have their family helped create a vision of this downtown area. And this is one of the things that we wanted to make sure that the family was always honored. And you want members of the Nance family, raise your hand. All right, yes. We're here today to happy to announce that where we're standing is going to be the next site of the new Chapin Memorial Library and the new South Carolina Children's Museum. These two exciting projects share a common goal: revitalization of our central business district. And as you know, we've been looking for ways to spur the private sector and redevelopment, to bring new business and new life to this area with a little bit of public sector investment. I want to thank the SuperBlock property owners who are voluntarily selling their property at market value to make this project possible. The news today will recall that nearly a year ago, a budget retreat, City Council made a commitment to keep Chapin Memorial Library. The Sun News, the Myrtle Beach Herald, and WMBF were all present during this discussion. Chapin Memorial Library is owned and operated by the City of Myrtle Beach, and it does a wonderful job. It's a great resource for our residents, and certainly the county and our many visitors that come to the Grand Strand. Myrtle Beach's first public library opened in 1939, not too far from this location. In 1948, the Chapin Foundation gave $42,000 to the city to develop a new library, build a new library. That library is now sitting on its current location, and it opened in 1948. The building has been expanded 4 times in the last 68 years. The demand for the service has outgrown the space. Myrtle Beach needs a new, modern library.